everybody, my name is Ariel and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a recently accepted medical student and I will be starting school this fall. In today's video, I am going to talk about my husband and I's refinancing of our first home. I'm going to take you guys along on a short little vlog of our experience this morning when we went to go refinance our home. I'm also going to walk you through some of the numbers and why it made sense for us personally to refinance. I also want to give you guys some tips on how to negotiate the rate for your mortgage, either for refinancing or for first-time home buyers or rental property investors, to give you guys some ideas on what you can do to get the lowest rate possible. This video is a little bit different than a lot of the previous videos that I've filmed. One little known fact about me is I became a licensed real estate agent in 2019 during my deferral year from medical school. My mom is a real estate agent, so seeing what she did I thought was interesting, and one of the many things I did during my deferral year was I thought it would be fun to get my real estate license and help her out with some of the properties that she was closing on. So I helped her out last year as a real estate assistant, so in order to do that, I had to become a licensed real estate agent. So that's taught me a lot about the real estate market where I live and in the country, and has taught me a lot about legal documents and all different types of finance things and investment things that I had no idea existed before last year. So I've recently become very interested in personal finance and budgeting as well as investing. So my goal is to incorporate a lot of that into this channel, and I think it's also important for anybody who's pre-med, going into healthcare, going into the medical field, trying to get into medical school. Maybe you're a medical student. If you're anything like me, I didn't think a lot about finances. My big focus was get through school, get myself through school, get into medical school, do whatever I need to do, and personal finance was kind of an afterthought. Because a lot of times when you're going into healthcare, you are entering your career later than most people who perhaps went right into the workforce after high school or went right into the workforce after graduating from a 2 years associate degree or 4 years of college. At least in terms of going to medical school, I am not going to have a real job until after I graduate medical school and start residency. So it's not really something that a lot of people around me talked about a lot. We were more focused on school, but this new hobby of mine, real estate, has kind of opened up the door to learning a lot more about finances and investment, and I wanted to share that here with you guys. Another thing that you guys may or may not know is that I am what is considered a Gen Zer, I think. I don't know if it's Gen Z. I know it's Gen Z. I don't know if it's Gen Z or I don't know what you call it, but I am classified in the Gen Z generation of humans on this earth, and I have not found a lot of personal finance videos targeted towards that group. I primarily see personal finance targeted towards millennials. So I also wanted to make some videos about personal finance for anybody who finds themselves in this Gen Z age group. I don't know that there's a lot of content out there focusing on you guys, so I wanted to start that here. So look out for those future videos from me about personal finance. Please let me know in the comments down below what types of financial questions you have and what your interests are. So with that intro out of the way, I am going to show you guys a few quick clips of my little vlogging of what this morning looked like and what refinancing looked like a little bit in this time of social distancing. Okay, where are we going?
Refinance building.
Yes. We are going to refinance our house right now, and we're very excited because how long did it take us? Over 90 days, so a long time. So we're very excited. So we have arrived at the title company. I have my mask on, and we're gonna go head inside and get all of our closing documents and disclosures signed and get this refinance closed. I'm not gonna bring the camera in because I don't want to have to sanitize it when we leave, but I will check in with you guys after and let you know how it went. Okay, so we just finished signing all of our paperwork at the title company. It only took about 25 minutes, so it was relatively quick. It was a lot quicker than when we initially signed all the paperwork to close on our home. And now we are heading to the bank to send a wire transfer to wire the funds to the title company to finalize the closing and finalize the loan. So we will give you an update once that is done. We just finished submitting our wire transfer through the bank, and we confirmed with the title company that they received it, and that's always what you should do when you submit a wire transfer. Just wanted to put that in here because there's a lot of wire transfer fraud that goes on, so a lot of people don't know about that, so I did want to mention that in here. And yeah, so we are pretty much done with this process, and we just are waiting for the confirmation that everything is finalized and closed, and we are very excited to have our refinance done.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed watching that little vlog recap of the different little steps we had to go through this morning to close on our refinancing. Now let's go through some of the numbers. To give you guys an idea of my husband and I's timeline, we purchased our first home in April of 2019, so a little bit over a year ago. And also, just to give you some context, we initially submitted our application for this refinancing back in the beginning of April of 2020. So we sent in the application to refinance our home a year after we purchased it, which for us, it seemed reasonable because we've only been paying on our loan for 1 year, and it wasn't that big of a setback to just refinance right now in the beginning of the loan term. One other big component of this is appreciation. So the area that we live in has been appreciating a lot in recent years, and based on the types of homes that were being built in our neighborhood and the amount that homes around us were selling for in our neighborhood, with my background in real estate, I figured that our home's value has probably appreciated, and it seemed like it would have appreciated a significant amount. So that hunch was correct. We got an appraisal done on our home, and our home had actually appreciated 10.46% in value over just 1 year, which, just to put into context for anybody who's not familiar with appreciation rates, the national home appreciation rate is between 3 and 5% depending on the area that you live in. So homes in our neighborhood are going up in value at a rate about 2 times the national average, which was great for us when we went to go refinance this loan. And it's also good because that means it was a good investment. We have earned a pretty big rate of return in just a year. So for us, that signals that we made a good choice buying in the neighborhood that we did, purchasing the home that we did, and so we're very happy about that. So I'm gonna talk about interest rates in our current financial climate right now. To tell you guys what we were starting out with, our initial home loan last year in April that we originally closed on was for a 4.875% loan over 30 years. There was no PMI on the loan, and the reason that we decided to take out a 30-year loan versus a 20-year or a 15-year loan is because we plan on living in this house for at least the next 4 years, hopefully the next 8 years, depending on where I am going for my medical training. And so we know we're gonna be in the house at least for 4 to 8 years. And beyond that, we don't plan on selling the house. Our goal was to get the lowest mortgage payment possible per month so that when we do move out of the house eventually, whether it's to move for medical training or when we decide to upgrade to a house in a different neighborhood, we are going to keep the house that we're living in now, and we are planning to rent it out. So we wanted to make sure the monthly payment was as low as possible so that when we do get renters in the house long term, that the rent that we can charge for that property is higher than the monthly mortgage payment. So essentially the renters are paying the mortgage for the home, and we're also making a profit every month. So that was kind of our strategy when it came to determining whether or not this was a good investment and what type of mortgage we wanted to take out. I also wanted to put in here that the rule of thumb for anybody who is not familiar in terms of refinancing is that you typically should not refinance unless you can get a rate that is at least 1 to 1.5% lower than the rate that you currently have. Another thing I wanted to mention here is that we in no way were interested in taking out a loan with PMI. I'm not going to talk about that a lot in this video. If you're interested in it, let me know down below. If you have questions about it, PMI is private mortgage insurance. That is a huge, huge, huge waste of money. Do not take out a loan with PMI unless you absolutely have to. It's better to rent and save up until you have a down payment big enough to avoid the PMI. PMI is basically just paying for somebody else's insurance every month, and it is a huge waste of money. So just don't do it if you can at all avoid it. So now I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about our negotiation process, about how we negotiated down our loan rate. And I felt this was really important to share here because I didn't see a lot of articles about this, and I didn't know a lot about about this when I first started the refinancing process, so I thought it could be valuable for you guys to hear how we got the lowest rate possible. And this technique can be used whether you are a first-time home buyer, you're looking to refinance your loan, or you are a real estate investor. So initially we started the loan application process for the refinancing with the same lender that we initially signed our first mortgage with back in April of 2019. So we submitted our application to refinance the loan with them, and I didn't really think about even looking anywhere else to get another quote for anything because I really didn't want to have to go through the hassle of switching to a different lender because it's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of overhead, and a lot of lenders are totally overwhelmed right now with the amount of refinances and the applications because rates are at an all-time low. So that kind of deterred me initially from reaching out to other lenders to try to see if we could qualify for a lower rate, but we ended up waiting 90 days, guys. 90 days we were in processing for our refinance and couldn't get a hold of anybody at the lender. We were emailing, calling, nobody was in the office with everything going on. And it was really difficult and it started to get really frustrating. So at that point, out of frustration, we reached out to a different lender. So the amount that we originally picked with our current lender, the lowest rate that they could possibly give us for a refinance loan without us having to pay a loan origination fee, which is typically 1% of the loan amount, and without us having to buy down points. If you don't know what point buy down is, it's basically when you pay a little bit more money up front and it allows you to lower your interest rate on the loan. So that initial rate that we didn't have to buy down, we didn't have to pay an origination fee, just basically walk in, sign the papers, net out of pocket for us was almost zero, minus some of the lender fees and things of that nature. That rate was 3.875, which was a whole percentage point below what we had currently. And then the lowest rate that they were able to offer to us at the time was 3.25, and that would have cost us $20,200 to buy down that rate, which is nuts. That's just crazy. And so the lowest rate we could get was 3.25% with like 20 grand paying at closing just to buy down the rate, not going towards the loan just to get the rate down. Originally we said, okay, we're just gonna opt for the 3.875. We don't have to pay anything for this rate. We don't have to pay a loan origination fee, and we'll just pay the title company closing and recording costs and be on our way. So once it was taking a long time to hear back from our loan company that we had our initial mortgage with, that we had already started this refinancing process with, we weren't hearing back from them, so I reached out to other lenders. And during that process, one of the other lenders that I filled out an application with was able to offer us a 2.875% interest rate for a 30-year loan, which is pretty dang good. I was shocked. And to get that rate, it was only a 0.35% loan origination fee, so less than that 1%, and there was no rate buy down. So we didn't have to pay an absurd amount of money to buy the rate down, and that money wasn't even going towards the principal loan. So we were like, wow, that's a really good deal, and maybe we will go through the trouble of switching mortgage companies because that is a whole entire percent lower than the lowest rate that we could get for free at our current lender. So we basically took the paperwork, the loan estimate form. This is really important. If you guys go out and get multiple rates, you need to get a loan estimate form from the lender that gives you the rate and bring it back to the lender that you want to work with. And once you give them that official document, they can use that and match the rate. A lot of lenders do this loan matching. So once they saw that another company was offering us this 2.875% rate, then they matched it, and then they also lowered the loan origination fee to 0.25%, down from what the other company was offering at 0.35%. So that is just a brief overview of the technique that we used to get the best and lowest rate on our mortgage. And just in general, anybody who is a current homeowner or is in a position to invest in real estate or to buy their first home, the rates are at historic lows, and if you can, I would absolutely recommend investing, and if you can, refinance your mortgage, or if you were planning to take out a mortgage in the near future, now's a great time to get rates locked in. They're at all-time lows. Let me know in the comments down below if you're currently looking for a house, if you currently own a house, or if you are in the process of refinancing and starting to look at rates. What is the lowest rate that you've come across or have been able to refinance to? I hope this video has been helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything that I've said in this video in the comments section down below. If you like this video, please like it and give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. I do post videos once a week every Tuesday, so watch out for those videos. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.